We are starting with Damone Clark. He is staying in-state to play for LSU next year, where Tom is right now. So, Tom, just stay right there, and you'll see him eventually, or tell us about him on this video clip.
I'm actually going by his high school after today's filming, and he's a terrific ball player at a Southern University lab. I was very impressed with him last year, and he's having an outstanding year this year, according to his coach. He's an athlete, good range, quick hands, quick feet, and he makes a lot of plays.
Well, that's a good sign, because LSU is going to need him in the future. All right, number 9, we have Dax Holyfield. Great name, from North Carolina. He's considering the Tar Heels, as well as South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and Stanford all the way out west, Tom. A lot of options there for this guy.
Well, he's a straight-A student, and I drive by Shelby, North Carolina is on the South Carolina border. It's a very small town, but it's a town that's produced some All-American linebackers over the past 20 years. I seem like I stop there every year. He's a tackling machine. He makes a lot of plays. This guy can range. He reminds me of Luke Kuechly when Luke was in high school. This is a guy that, not really over-impressive looking-wise, but he's a guy that seems to be in on every single tackle. He's a tackling machine.
All right, next time we take the show on the road, we're going to Shelby. Number 8, we have Matt BAUER, 90th overall in the class. He's a Pennsylvania native, Tom, but he's getting out of town. He's going to Notre Dame. They won't let him come back to Scranton now, Tom.
Well, Notre Dame's had a great track record at Erie Cathedral Prep, starting with Mike McCoy, I think, was number 2 pick in the draft something like 30, 40 years ago. And that coach tells me, Mark Stepnowski's from that school. Matt BAUER, this year will be his 3rd straight year that he's a first-team All-Stater. He's another guy that seems to be in on every play. He does a great job of fighting through traffic and playing the game on his feet, and he's got terrific range.
And he's from Erie, which I realize opposite side of the state from Scranton, which is actually full of Notre Dame fans, so I shouldn't have said that. All right, number 7, we got Raymond Scott, number 66 overall in the class. He's a California kid, and get ready to hear this a few times now. He's going to USC, Tom. I just got to teach him how to tackle Khalil Tate now in the future.
Yeah, I saw him at another high school last year. Now he moved over to another one this year. This guy is another guy. He's a thumper. He reminds me of one of these NFL linebackers that seems like he never lets up. He's like a guided missile to the ball. I was very impressed with his film as a sophomore, and then he picked up his game as a junior to become an All-American. This is another terrific athlete. USC is having a great year at linebacker, and recruiting linebackers, he's one of the very best. And
we're just getting started there. They need these guys the next time they face that Notre Dame offense. They're loading up. Number 6, Bo Calvert, 63rd overall, also a California kid, and as we're saying here, Tom, also going to USC.
You know, Bo, his coaches had called me at Oaks Christian to tell me about him when he was a freshman, and then I saw his film as a sophomore. I've seen him over the past 3 years develop. Now he's got a lot of weight on him. He could be 240 pounds in another year, but he's a tall, rangy, outside linebacker who has played a little bit inside also, who could also grow into a defensive end. But right now, one of the premier linebackers in the country and having a terrific senior season.
And now we get into our top 5, and at number 5, a future Buckeye. Urban Meyer didn't have to go far to get Dallas Gant. Tom, 62nd overall in the class.
Well, Dallas Gant coming up from Toledo. This is another one of those great athletes who can run. This guy runs like, he can outrun most backs, but he can hit like a defensive lineman. So another terrific talent. Dallas Gant was the guy that really impressed me from the get-go, and Ohio State realized it because he had offers from Michigan and Notre Dame and Penn State, but they were able to reel him in, and he's another guy that I think could play as a true freshman.
All right, here's another guy with a lot of offers at number 4, J.J. Peterson. He's our first 5-star on the list, 34th overall in the class, considering Alabama and Auburn, plus Oregon, Michigan, and the in-state Bulldogs who've been mopping up. Tom, where do you think he lands?
I think Georgia right now is going to get him, although he's not from the Atlanta area. He's south there. When I went to his high school this year, real nice kid. Then you watch him on the field. He's got a mean streak, an aggressive style of ball of playing. Another guy that plays the game on his feet. He's got great range. But what really impresses you when you watch JJ is his ability to hit. He's one of the better hitters I've seen in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I could feel the fear coming at you as we watch those clips. Okay, another team who's doubling up on a top 10 linebacker here. At number 3 is Taraja Mitchell, 25th overall in the class, from Virginia, headed to play at Ohio State next year. Urban Meyer just loading up on players from every top 10 list we do, Tom.
Oh, yeah, you know, Ohio State's having one of those remarkable years, and Taraja, I saw him at another high school a couple years ago, and right away I marked him down as a future All-American, and now he's at Bishop Sullivan having another knockout year. And he's a star among very many stars at that high school. And he's another guy that's got great size, could possibly grow into a defensive end. Right now, he's one of the favorites for the Butkus Award. Yeah, and credit to his coach. Looks like he actually tackles with his head up. So that's good. We need to change that. At number 2, here we go. Palie Natiote. 19th overall. He's at Bishop Gorman in Nevada this year. Next year, USC. Clay Helton and the Trojans, Tom, are just loading up. They got 3 of your top 7 backers. Remember last year, he was on our show when I was in Vegas and filming with him, and he reminds me of Manti Te'o when Manti came out of Hawaii as one of those difference maker type linebackers, and that's exactly what he is. Bishop Gorman doesn't shy away from competition. He's been their leader for the past 2.5 years right now at the high school level. On the defensive side of the ball, they play a national schedule, and he's a ball player that seems to be up for every game. I don't think he's had a bad game in 2.5 years at Bishop Gorman. And what a trio of linebackers USC seems to have coming their way. The top linebacker in the class is Solomon TULIAUPUPU. He is a California native. He is 10th overall in the class. He is not committed to USC, but he is considering the Trojans, along with Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Based on how this is going, though, Tom, should we just send him a Trojans jersey now anyway? I would have to think possibly. I saw him 2 years ago at Claremont High School, and I remember the Claremont coach telling me that a guy like that comes along once every 10 years, and I think he's right. Solomon then has transferred over to the #1 team in the country right now, Mater Dei High School, and hasn't skipped a beat on a team absolutely loaded with Division I ball players. He stands out not only as a run defender but also as a pass defender. He's a 3-down backer, and he's a guy that, again, a difference maker that wherever he winds up, I think he'll be able to be an impact player as a true freshman.